Now, without a doubt, college is going to be a pretty busy time in your life. I mean, you have to balance out classwork, studying and homework outside the classroom, part-time jobs, internships, if you're in a relationship, your social life, your mental health, your gains. There's just so many things you got to take into account. But regardless, no matter how busy things get, you should always make time to work out and get those gains. Why? Because those who are fit, those who actually make time to go to the gym, those that eat healthier and live a better lifestyle, they will perform better in college. So stay tuned, because today I'm going to be giving you 3 reasons why you should work out and how it's going to help you perform better in college. What's up, everyone? David here. Got a new video for y'all today. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So don't miss out. Now today we're going to be going over college. I know many of you're about to start your first semester, whether you're a first-time freshman or you're transferring and now you're at a big-time university, whatever it may be. Man, things are about to get hectic. You got so much on your plate. Everyone's going to be handling different workloads. Without a doubt, we all got to deal with the classwork, and we got to deal with studying and homework outside the classroom. Outside of that, though, man, it's going to vary from person to person, but I think it's fair to say a majority of us at one point or another in our college experience, you're either going to be going through some type of internship, you got to be working some type of part-time job. Man, maybe even if you're a student athlete, now you got to be balancing out the athlete side of it. There's just so many things that you got to be taking into account. Your time is going to be stretched thin. But with proper time management, it doesn't have to be as hard as many people make it out to be. Those who say, oh my God, I'm so stressed, I got this. Man, they're probably the same people that are going to be procrastinating with everything else that they're doing. So as long as you get the right systems in place, you're not oversleeping, you're not staying up super late, binge watching on TikTok, as long as you manage your priorities and you got good time management skills, you got this. But regardless, no matter how busy things get, them gains, the gym, that should not be neglected. Why? It's because working out has so many benefits outside of just the physical, outside of just getting bigger biceps, getting wider shoulders, getting a thinner waist, getting that hourglass figure. Depending on who you are, whatever your fitness goals are for your looks, your performance, whatever it may be, that's all good and well. But working out, it's got some benefits from right here. All right, mental health benefits. And mental health is going to be a real big thing when you're in college, because there's going to be times when you're going to be stressed. But if you work out, you're going to notice you're going to be doing a little bit better. Those of you who prioritize your fitness, you will be performing a lot better in college than those who do not. How many of y'all have ever seen those students? Do you mind? I'm in the middle of a video. The disrespect. The audacity. Anyways, yeah, how many of you have ever noticed that those who work out and seem fit, they're so organized, they seem to get their life together? Man, maybe that should be your sign that you should start working out too. So here we got 3 benefits for the brain. Tip number 1, those of you who work out, you're going to be noticing, you're going to see an increase in attention and focus. I mean, I don't know how many of y'all have ever dealt with this. How many times have you been in class? It's just really hard to pay attention. You're just nodding off. You're easily distracted. You're focusing on something else instead of focusing on the lecture. Man, it could be tough from time to time, especially if it's one of those boring classes that you don't even know how it relates to your major, but you got to take it anyways, whatever. But yeah, if you work out, it's going to help improve your attention and focus. So whatever it is that you got to be looking at, whatever it is you got to be listening to, all eyes on deck right here. You got my absolute undivided attention, and that's gonna be a game changer, because let's be honest, if you don't pay attention, you don't focus on what's going on in the lecture, well, that's just going to be more time spent later on that you got to spend relearning that material. It's like, man, what was it that the professor was talking about? What did he say? What did she say? Did she mean this? Man, well, if you would have paid attention a little closer during the lecture, you would have understood it a little bit better. Now you don't have to waste as much time outside of class trying to figure that thing out when you could have figured it out on the spot in that moment. So that's why, again, working out is going to help improve attention and focus. We need that because that's what's going to matter inside of the classroom in that moment when you're learning the material on the spot. And all that goes hand in hand with the second tip, which is going to be those of you who work out, you're going to see an improvement in memory retention. Whatever it is that was just said to you, whatever professor just put up on the PowerPoint, whatever it is that they said out loud, boom, it's going to stick with you a little better up here. You're going to retain that information. I mean, many of you, let's be completely honest, you're not actually learning the material. You're just memorizing it long enough so that you can do good on the test. And then once you pass the test, you're going to forget all that stuff. So if you are that person, you shouldn't be. You should actually be taking the time to actually master, learn material, especially if it's something that specifically relates to the career that you're trying to go towards. I mean, think about it like this. What if a doctor was learning about a certain type of surgery for this one body part, and all they did was memorize enough of it to pass the test, and then they completely forgot after? No, 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 no. Again, you should be the type of person to actually master and know the material, the ins and out of it, instead of just memorizing enough of it to just pass the test. But regardless, if you are that type of person, at least if you work out, it'll help you retain the information more, because we got to keep a lot of it up here. And depending on what major you're in, me personally, I was a kinesiology major, emphasis in exercise science. That's a lot of stuff to remember compared to, let's just say, we got another major such as like art, where you could just draw whatever you want. I mean, come on now. There's definitely a big difficulty level difference in various majors depending on what it is that you choose. And those who go into anything that is specific to health or anything in the medical field, that material is definitely a lot harder compared to all these other majors like art, drawing, painting, sculpting. I mean, come on now. What's so difficult about that? Whatever. But when you have to retain that much information, I mean, especially with the body parts, there's so many parts in just the heart alone. Now the lungs, all right, now the legs, or even if we're doing something like civil engineering, there's just so many things that you gotta, learn, or you gotta memorize about. Okay, okay, we're gonna be drafting, we're gonna be building this. It's gotta be done this way. The structure needs to be built this way to make sure that building is upheld right. There's just so many things to take into account. That's a lot of things that you gotta retain. And if one thing goes wrong, man, right now the one thing that goes wrong might only affect your test score, but in the future, once you're actually in the career, that one thing that goes wrong could be the difference between you saving a person's life in surgery or a building collapsing if you're like an architect or an engineer or someone that builds or drafts things. Get what I'm saying? So again, work out. You'll see better memory retention. The more you can retain the information, the better you'll do in your tests, in your assignments, in your career, whatever it may be, man. But again, it just comes down to you gotta just start working out. And third, working out is going to improve your mood. I mean, as simple as that. In college, is it that big of a deal? Well, depending on where you're at, maybe. How many of y'all have ever noticed that when you do one thing in a bad mood, it just ruins the rest of your day? I mean, it's not a good look, man. Let's just say you go into class, you're in a bad mood. The whole time, your mind is just occupied by whatever it was that happened. Today's just not the day. You do bad on a test because, again, there's just so many things happening in your life. At least you can rely on your workout to improve your mood. Because have you ever noticed when you're happy, everything else in your day goes accordingly. But it just seems to be like those days when you just wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you're in a bad mood, nothing goes accordingly, and the rest of the day it's just little things adding up on top of each other, and then by the end of the day you're just completely stressed out. And when you're in college, that's the last thing you need. The last thing you need is to just be in a mood, to be stressed out, because that's just adding on to more things on top of your plate that you don't want to deal with. So at least when you work out, what happens? You're pumping the iron, getting bigger biceps, squatting, it releases endorphins right there. That makes us feel happy, makes us feel like we're in a good mood. How many of you have ever woken up nice and early in the morning, got a good workout in, and boom, that set the foundation for the rest of the day? Now for the rest of the day, you feel unstoppable. You already feel like, yep, I got up this morning, I had a good workout, I had a good breakfast, I'm ready to conquer the rest of the day. That's a game changer. I mean, up here, psychologically, that just makes you feel on top of the world. That just sets the tone for the rest of the day. You're ready for anything that comes your way, and that's the type of energy that you need every single day, or at least as many days as you can. But if you're waking up sluggish, you're in a mood, you don't like where you're at, you don't like what you're doing, you really don't think that's going to affect all the other aspects of college. I mean, let's just say you're in a bad mood. All right, now it's time to go to class. No, didn't study, did bad on the test. All right, now I'm even worse mood. Now I got to go to my internship. Okay, I take that same negative energy, apply it there. Man, they're gonna be like, well, what's up with this guy? Man, I wouldn't hire him. Maybe there was like a job opening at the end of the internship for the best performing person. Nope, not that. You see, everything just adds up on top of each other. So at least when you work out, it will help improve your mood. The better you are, or the better your mood is throughout the day, the more everything else will seem to go in your favor. But again, it's all up here. You gotta do what you gotta do. So there you have it, everyone. That's just 3 things of how working out can help you perform better in college, and they all have to relate with the mental health. Retaining information, attention and focus, your mood, all of it starts up here. I know I just went over it very briefly. I just wanted to summarize it and just get it to you. The main point is, you want to do better in college, just do something as simple as working out. Get your steps in. Go go on a jog, lift weights, whatever form of fitness that you prefer, do it, and you'll be surprised at how much is going to carry over into the classwork, into, you know, your homework, your studying habits, all of that good stuff. But you got to do something. And I like to point out, something is better than nothing. Now, for those of you who say, maybe I don't have enough time to work out, well, you better find time, because if you don't start immediately at the start of the semester, you're not going to do it at the end of the semester. As the weeks go by, your work is going to get harder and harder. Your workload is going to get heavier and heavier. You're going to find less and less time as the semester goes on. So if you don't have time to work out now, week one of the semester, you're definitely not going to have time later on as we approach midterms in the middle semester and then finals at the end. So start laying that foundation. Start getting your gains in right here where you can, and carry those habits until the end of the semester, because things are only going to get worse. So if you don't start now, you're not going to start at all. Sorry. Comment down below if you want me to make another video about these 3 mental health benefits, but even more in depth, explaining more of the science behind each one. I know right now I just briefly summarized them, but if you want me to go more in depth and really give you the ins and outs of each, comment down below. I definitely do so. Also, comment down below any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diets, workouts, programs, whatever it is. Comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help y'all out. Be sure to subscribe not just to my channel, my girlfriend's channel, our couple's channel, so you don't miss out on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So don't miss out. And then Instagram and TikTok, same thing. Be sure to follow me on my accounts, girlfriend's accounts, couple's accounts. I put all the links down in the description below. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.